Alright, we're back after our technical difficulties. Everything's fine here. One more handle. We're done with that. So next is the emblems. And I've talked about this before a few times, but these ones are pretty standard on provincial pieces, usually for the middle drawers, but you find them on all sorts of stuff. But they usually have one or two finishing nails in there, and a lot of times they're already loose a little. So I get these a little screwdriver, and it's good to point it towards the finishing nail. That way, because what you're going to do next is you're going to kind of pry it up, and the closer you are to that nail when you pry it up, the better. And then after you get it a little loose, you want to go to the other end. This is really a two-handed job, and sometimes I have to get a second screwdriver to work my way down. But you see, I'm just working it in there towards the nail, and then pull up. Just use leverage, and this will keep you from breaking these emblems that are you're not going to find a replacement for them. So let me get this finishing nail out first, because if you lose those, it's kind of a pain too. You can get replacement, I mean, you can buy them by the hundreds for real cheap, but sometimes they're not the right size. And then, like, as far as marring up the wood, I mean, most of your scratches are going to be back here where the emblem is. So if you're putting it back on, it's no big deal. If it's, like these people are putting different handles on it, it's really not anything crazy. This little scratch right here will get filled up by the paint. So I'm not too worried about that. Again, same thing. Of course, I just dropped the nail to that one. Oh, and another one. I'll find them. I usually don't do my prep work outside, so if stuff falls, it falls in on the mat. This one I can just pry out with my hand. If it's loose enough, you can just pry it out with your hand. Just use the leverage. Gosh. Yeah. I'll be replacing those, I guess. So, well, actually, I don't have to worry about it on this one because they're not putting them back on there. So, next thing I'm gonna do is get these drawers out. I usually just stick them over here outside. Soon the sun will be shining on them, and we're going to be wood filling these handles, so back and forth, back and forth. Get my workout for today. Again, normally I'd take two at a time, but I gotta one hand this thing. If somebody wants to buy me a GoPro, I'll do videos all day. I'll even wear a goofy helmet. All right. So the key to filling holes is to not try to slather it with wood filler, because it's gonna stay damp down in there. So what I do is I get a little, and I use my fingers for everything. You can use putty knives and stuff like that if you want, but it's just a lot easier with your finger. So what I do is I just get a little bit in there like this, and then that's gonna dry like that, and then I can come back with a second coat and fill in the rest of it. This will take about 3 coats. So you get it out of the way at the beginning, and start doing your prep work on the main body. That way all this stuff is drying while you're doing that. Save time. We're not smashing it all the way down in there, just get a little bit down in there and then smooth it out so your next layer can just be applied on top of it. These smaller holes, a lot easier to fill. This will probably need to dry about an hour. Of course, when you have it outside in the sun, it dries a lot faster than if you have it inside. Something like this will probably take 2 to 4 hours in room temperature. So I'll leave it out here. I'll check on it in about 30 minutes, see where it's at, because it's super hot today. What I do is I just do a little fingernail test. I just come and dig my fingernail into it. If it indents too easy, then it's not ready. But if it's rather hard, then I can go ahead and start sanding it and get the next coat on. So the next coat, we'll come back and we'll sand this smooth and everything, and then put another coat, a little thicker coat that's raised, just like we did over on the top of the dresser. Trying to ruin my video over here. So yeah, we'll just